Just a bit of a quick video. Not many people really need this one, but someone might adapt it to something they need. This is the good old-fashioned Raptor 50 Titan, running an OS 55 Hyper tucked in under there somewhere. This thing runs a governor on it, which is a Multi-Gov Pro, which is set to, I think it's 1800 RPM on the low speed and 2000 RPM on the high speed. The third setting on there, which is below 500 RPM, or the third speed setting, is designed to turn around and allow me to disable the governor from the transmitter, to make it quite simple, just for tuning and things like that. So effectively what I've done, if we go into the radio, you will see that we've got our normal flight modes.
Throttle disabled. Normal mode. Flight mode 1. Flight mode 2. Flight mode 1. Normal mode.
Right, so you can see we've got our normal stuff on this one. Now where we've made the changes is if you come down here to this particular setting here, the way these governors work is 100% will give you your 1800 RPM, 0% will give you 2000 RPM, and minus 100% will give you governor disabled. So as you can see from here, if I go into, you'll see that on this one here we've set the source to max. The only one that's active is 1 on the modes, which of course is normal mode. 0 is throttle hold. And also we've got not logic switch 14, right? And that's all there is to it for that one. If I go back to this one here, we have a look. Source is still max, weight is 0%, and you'll see that 2 and 3. So in other words, flight mode 2 and 3, I want the same RPM, and I don't want to have it logic for 14, as you can see there too. So when you get your head around those two, if you come down to this one, and you will see that it's minus 100%. It's all of the modes, and it is logic switch 14. Now the idea behind that is that's going to give you your 3 different positions. In other words, 1800 RPM, 2000 and 0. Now the reason I've done it with a logic switch is for the following reasons. I don't want to, what I've done is I've actually set up on here, this particular switch here is the disable governor. So at the moment that's operating, that position there, the governor is disabled, but I'd hate to reach for my
flight mode 1,
flight mode switch and accidentally disable the governor while I was up in the air. So what I've actually done is I've set that up that I cannot turn around and activate the governor disabled unless throttle hold is on. So now you've got the governor is disabled, and I've set just a nondescript beeper.
Normal mode.
Take throttle hold off. Doesn't matter what I do with that switch, it's not going to do anything. It's not going to change the function that I've given it. Reason for that is to change it back to governor, I want to be sitting on the ground,
throttle disabled,
throttle hold, and then
normal mode.
We're back to normal. So in other words, your throttle hold has to be on before you can change that switch. It's a little bit of a safeguard.
Normal mode.
So if I now go through to, and this also inputs, coming down on here, you basically just set a very, sorry, that's what I was already discussed. As I said, these are seat of the pants with me. I'm not making any money out of these, it's just if it helps someone else, that's great. So if we carry on down to the mixer, you'll find that there's nothing fancy going on in the mixing. All I've done with that is it's just 100% done. The reason for that is I tried doing the mixing in there and then it wouldn't work properly on the different flight modes. If I come through to the logical switches, what you'll find down here is on logic switch 13, right, you'll see that it has to be, for logic switch 13 to be active, you have to have
Throttle disabled.
SF1 and SA in the right position. So SA, of course, is the switch here, and SF, of course, is throttle hold. So if I was to go that
Throttle
and
disabled.
that, you'll see 13 has become active, and so has 14, and you'll see that 14 is actually a sticky. So what that means now
Normal
is
mode.
when I take off throttle hold, logic switch 14 stays on, right? And then if you look at logic switch 15, you'll see the way that's been set up. You can almost tell without me even talking, to be honest, but how that's set up is I cannot disable the sticky, which is logic switch 14, unless I
Throttle disabled.
throttle hold on, and then logic switch 15 will become active and it's taken 14 off, right? And then
Normal
I can go
mode.
we're back to normal. So how that's working is
Throttle
throttle
disabled.
hold on. Sorry, I'll
Normal
go
mode.
back again. So
Throttle
throttle
disabled.
hold on. Logic switch on 14.
Normal
and then
mode.
Throttle hold off. And that stays sticky. So that holds that in the correct position. So the beeping, you guys can work that out. That's not too hard to do. What the hey, all I've done is I've gone logic switch 14, play sound cheap. Okay, now if you look at what's actually happening on this,
Throttle disabled. Normal mode.
reset this. So now if we look at this, how that's sitting there at the moment, normal helicopter flight, we're in normal mode, so 100%. We're going to flight mode 1,
Flight mode 1.
which is 0, and you'll see that it's sitting at 0%, which is telling it, believe it or not, 2000 RPM.
Normal
So
mode.
normal mode is 100%,
Flight mode 1.
2000 RPM is 0. Now if I go to
Flight mode 2.
flight mode 2, it really makes no difference to it as well.
Flight mode 1. Normal mode.
However, if I was to go
Throttle disabled.
throttle hold and then move the switch down to that position, the governor goes to minus 100%.
Normal mode.
Take off throttle hold, throttle, nothing else makes any difference.
Flight mode 1.
Flight mode
Flight
makes no
mode
difference.
2. Flight
It's
mode 1. Normal
literally
mode.
in that held position. Now to take that off,
Throttle
throttle hold has to
disabled.
be on, and then you have to flick the switch back to forward.
Normal
And when you
mode.
take that off, the governor is back into.
Flight mode 1.
It's
Flight
two
mode
modes.
2. Flight mode 1. Normal mode.
I hope that helps someone. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But thanks for watching. Incidentally, these things are becoming quite rare these days. I was looking out there today actually to see if I could buy a replacement. I was thinking, oh, she's getting fairly old. But in saying that, it's a very well made old helicopter, and it goes really well actually. So that's today's video. Thank you very much.